SCS has just released the Kenworth W900 Legacy Edition truck, and it's now available in your American Truck Simulator game. In this video, I'll show you how to find it and how to set it up. If you'd like to read more about the background on this, I will leave a link in the description below to their blog article. Let's have a look at the new Kenworth W900 Legacy Edition in the game. We start by going to a Kenworth truck dealer. Over here, click on Kenworth and find a truck dealer. You can either navigate to it or visit it directly or just buy online. That's what I usually do. And then what we're going to do is find the new Legacy Edition here in the list. So here we go. It is this one right here, the Kenworth W900 72-inch flat roof sleeper. The flat roof is the new cabin style that was added. So you select the that particular model, come down to customize configuration. And let me show you, we now have 4 cabin styles. This one was just added. So the 72-inch flat roof sleeper was just added this update. So by default, you get the medium length frame 6x4. You can go with mid-lift 6x2, and that just means that there's 6 sets of tires, and 2 of them are drive. Here, both are a drive. The default, both of these are drives. And you can tell by looking at the transaxle here, you go the 6x2, the rear one disappears. Okay? Not really relevant to this unless that is important to you. Next up would be the engine. See, I don't have anything added, no mods in this. So I can go, see, looks like the default is the 600 horsepower Cummins ISX15. We'll stay with that. And the transmission is the 18 speed. You could get one with a retarder, I suppose, but we'll leave the default. The interior, it's the Legacy here. Anything else you change to will remove things. So that's the default is what you want. And then paint schemes, we've got several. If you finish the driving academy, then you'd be able to add the driving academy skin. But otherwise, you can use any of the ones that you may have already had. But if you select any of the ones with this Kenworth logo on the left side, that's one of the new skins that was available. I don't like that one. Couldn't possibly be the blue. I don't like that one. We'll just leave that. Next up is the exterior stuff. And there's already got some default stuff here. You can go with a cabin deflector, either painted or chromed, or the whale tail. However, if you want beacons, you can't have the cabin deflector. So it's up to you on what you want. Roof sleeper lights, if you select that, now you've got a whole lot of lights to place. By default, you would do the 3 center ones and then the outside right and left. So let's go with the Legacy, in keeping with what we're doing. Oops, did I miss one? There we go. Now, of course, you could put them all the way across. You can also put lights on the main roof over the cabin. You've got a couple of options for horn. Oh, I've got more than that, actually. But the Legacy, we'll stick with that. More lights. Again, we'll go with the, oh, it already has them. Yes. Roof window, you can either go none or you can have the window. Your choice. I like a window. Oops, just did that one. Sun visor. You can select any of these. I'm going to leave the default. You can add a co-driver's plate and a driver's plate. Of course, I usually go with my name and my BTC driver number. So BTT001. Cabin trim. This is the trim around the window. So you could go standard, chrome, modern, or paint. Kind of like that. But you can just go with standard. Now, by the way, I forgot to mention the difference with this cabin style. This is the only one with the glass divider. This is another way of knowing that you've got the right cabin style for the new Legacy Edition. So we've got the hood option, and the Legacy puts this down here. Otherwise, you've got other things going on. So I'm going to stick with the Legacy. Bug deflector, I'm not going to use one on my truck. The ornament, choose whatever makes sense. I like this one. Front logo, again, Legacy. That is the default. I'm going to stick with that. The grill, you can choose several different options. I'm going to stay with the default. I'm just going right down the center of the front of the truck. So we've got a Legacy bumper. I'm going to stay with that. Not going to put a banner on it unless I choose to do heavy loads later. Now we'll work outward, front mirrors. I'm going to go, I personally like the standard, but you could go with the painted one, which actually looks pretty good. So I think I'll go with that. Both sides. Lights, turn signals. I'm going to stick with the LED, both sides. The headlight, you could stay with standard or you could do any of these. I'll just stay with the default. The fender guards, if you choose to. I like extra light, so we'll go with the turn signal on the front. Okay. Side logo, I like an LED. I don't know if that's Legacy or not, but I'm going with it. Okay, over here, you go with the filter cover. So the stock, short, industrial. I'll go with stock. The air filters, I like lights. Oops, not that one. There we go. There's a different option. Legacy air filters. Okay, we'll stick with the Legacies. That is the theme. Front fender. We can add a little trim, plastic trim, extended, or chrome. Whatever works for you. I'm going to stick with the extended plastic. Mud flaps in the front. I will stay with the default. Mud flaps in the back. This is the default, Legacy folded. We'll stick with that. Rear bumper, if you change to anything else, I believe it will it'll make it not the Legacy. So just leave it at that. Okay. Side panel. Go with the standard there. You can change these, I think, if you wish. Exhaust. Well, we want the Legacy, so that's this logo here, as opposed to the 100th anniversary. So you have additional options here. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Legacy. Handrail. I kind of like the bolted on one. That's just me. Door trim. You can choose any door trim you like. Or not. Same with the door handle. You can go stock, painted, chrome, etc. Cab panels. I am personally rather partial to the OVA LED. I don't know if I want painted. I kind of like that. Otherwise, you go chrome. I'll go with the painted oval. Oh, there's two options. Interesting. This plug right here is for plugging in your block heater. Keep your engine warm during the cold months if you drive up north. Door steps. You have several options you could choose from. I'm going to stick with the one provided. Lamp bar, I do like to go with extra LEDs in the oval configuration because I like lights. Same thing here. Side skirt bars. Let's go with the LED. And the tank. You can change the size of your tank up to a point. Really, you could just choose these first three. Or, yeah. So whatever floats your boat. Side badge, you're going to want the Legacy, probably. Oh, let's get the tires. You can go with the stock, or if you have the Michelin or Goodyear, well, I guess just Michelin, yes, or Goodyear. You could go with that. I tend to lean Michelin and use the blue. By the way, I'm not changing the chrome here because it's already got the Kenworth logoed chrome cap. Same thing in the back. Now we've got a couple of options here. The mud guard. I'm going to leave the default. You can choose any of these others. The rear fender. Just going to leave the go with the stock. Side deflectors. I happen to think that these are important. Now, if you're just doing flatbedding, these don't matter so much. But if you're doing anything with a drive in or a reefer, then you're probably going to want what we call the bat wings. Let's see. These lights are on the inside. I really want them outside. There we go. I like them on the outside because I like lights. And I like the lights because it just helps the truck become more visible. You always got to watch out for four-wheelers. Exhaust we've already done. Cabin rear, you can go no rails or rails. Depends on what you're trying to do or how you want to look. Chassis cover, you can go with a short. This is default. This is what I pretty much always had in every truck I drove, which was not one of these. Or you could go with a larger version. Or aluminum, painted, whatever works for you. I like this. That's a catwalk. So when you're getting out, if you need to get up here, say you're working on the reefer unit, then you want something sturdy to stand on. Okay, rolling around to the other side. I don't believe there's anything else except for the side mirror, which is already there. And we do have the cab door, so we could either have the safety window or not. Personally, I like to have the safety window, and that just allows you to look down into your blind spot. Now, that's what this mirror is for, to see down here. But it's nice to have another option. You can add front flags, but if you're not doing heavy haul or oversized loads, it's not necessary. But you can come in and add the flags and a banner if you're going to do that. So that is setting it up. Well, that's on the outside. On the inside, we've got, let's start at the with the hanging items. Let's see if there is a, there it is, the Kenworth Legacy dangly thing. There's that window. You can look down and see if there's a car hiding to your immediate right. For the seats, there is a legacy option. A lot of these options that say legacy on them are also available to put on your existing Kenworth W900. You want to add some seat items. That's fine. Same thing in the back. If you want to add something onto the floor back here, I usually put the either warning triangles, fire extinguisher, or power inverter. No fire extinguisher here. You can choose different carpet. I'm going to stay with the default. Floor items, you could add whatever, like a duffel bag or something. The interior trim, the default is the Legacy. If you can change it if you want. Console items, if you've got the Ghost or the Hula Doll or the Kenworth Retro Cap. Didn't look too good. I kind of like the Scarecrow bobblehead. Air conditioning items, you can drop in a fragrance pouch or something. I like to go to the steering wheel and click on this spot and add, oh, I don't have the 8-ball. I just add that. Because I always had one of those, an 8-ball version of that in my truck. What's this? Bobblehead. Oop, let's go with the W900. There we go. And you could also add something here, but what I found is, unless they're very small, they will block the view of that item. So I want to keep that visible. All right, that is it. This is the configuration that I'm doing for the W900 Legacy. I'm going to confirm this and then purchase it. And I need to find a place to put it. I'm running out of space. I will put it at my garage in Little Rock. Then I will go to my company, truck manager, Kenworth W900, and drive it. Oh, you know what? I should have configured the tire colors to match the truck. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is adjust the seats and mirrors. Let's see, the tilt, leave it, field of view. I'm going to leave it at 70 for now. These are the same. Steering tilt. I want to be able to see everything in here. Okay, mirrors. Left mirror, bring it in. Want to be able to see just the edge of the truck. This one, I want to see the edge of whatever. It just gives you a field of reference. And then adjust the mirror down because you want to be able to see below and to the left of you. This is important for traffic, but it's also important when you're maneuvering around and backing up even to a trailer. Same thing with the mirror on the hood. That reminds me, I need to adjust my seat up to clearly see those mirrors. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see this one very well. So defect in my plan. Anyway, hood left, that looks good. Hood right, can't tell. Right mirror, let's kick it in. Convex, kick it out and down. Side mirror. It's a little hard to see anything with that one. But you want to be able to see the edge of your step and then as much out here as you can see. Because what you're looking to see is how close to a curb or a guardrail you might be. Lights have already got on. Okay, we don't need to do anything in here. We're just going to get turned around. If you want to go to the shop and get the tire color fixed, that's just a personal thing. But there it is. The Kenworth W900 Legacy Edition. Be sure to get yours and drive it around.